Good morning, everyone. It is Feature Friday, and today I thought it would be fun to take the next step. So yesterday, I recorded a how to get started with Pagewheel. I think it ended up to be about 6 minutes of me just making a product from start to end, and then running one of the Pagewheel social calendars for. I have put that link in the description in our chat here in Zoom, and I'll put it underneath any where I place this video in the future so that you can see that as kind of part one to getting started. One of the things I think we've all had this where it's a little daunting to start with anything. And so one of the good things about Pagewheel, if I'm a little biased, is that you actually just follow the instructions and something magically appears. It may not be 100% perfect and it may not be exactly what you had in your mind, but there's actually action within a few minutes. And so what I thought we would do today is I'm going to open up this is kind of part two of that getting started video, because of course I made it in a few minutes. So not everything about it I love. And so I thought it would be fun to go back in and show how that you could edit some of these things, add and subtract, because what you made yesterday, you probably slept on and you thought, I could do something better today. So that's what I have planned for today. And then as always, just interrupt me if you have questions. And I'm sharing my screen, which Zoom finally figured out that they can let me do that now. All right. So if you're new to Pagewheel, you're going to go into app.pagewheel.com to find your dashboard. Anything that you've made in previous, and like if you're like me and have millions of products, which several of you in here have millions of products. In fact, we might need to have a competition sometime because there's more. There's more. But all the things that you've made will be here. And one of the cool like shortcuts is if you want to edit the actual product that you made, you can go just click on that product. If you want to start with like, oh, I just want to tweak the website a little bit or the thank you page, then you just go straight to the website. But I thought today we go through list growth strategies. This is a lead magnet that I've actually created for a talk that I'm giving in August. And so it's a real opt-in. So I made it in 8 minutes the other day. I thought maybe I'd go in and put a little bit more thought into it. But I was surprised at how good it was in 8 minutes. So I'm not going to change. I put my colors in before. I'm not going to change that at all. So if you're not going to make any changes, just go looks good next. On this one, I was going to see if maybe I put email for those people who don't necessarily know what a list is, but I wanted to see how that looked. I think that looks pretty good. So I've just made that one change. I like everything else, and let's just go. I made a About Me page the other day, and what I did is I added in, and I've just started doing this, by the way. This is kind of a little hack. Our AI knows this is an About Me page. So it already behind the scenes is writing an About Me page, but it doesn't know you from Adam. so what I did before is it's going to pre-populate with your title. And then what I'm going to say is what I said is I added the saying by Holly Homer, who has 20 years of email list building experience or something like that. I gave it a little bit more data. I'm not going to rerun the AI on this because I actually think it did a pretty good job. And probably at this point, I might go in and add some things that like it doesn't know about me. So with over 20 years of experience building successful email lists, I learned a thing or two that works and doesn't. And let me tell you, it can help to unlock the potential of your own list. I am going to add a little, you see how it's a little vague? I'm going to move that down and I'm going to say, being a blogger for all those years and connecting with my community through writing has made email a no-brainer for me. let me show you how easy it can be. So I'm going to take out this more generic thing. And then in this book, let's see, I'm just going to eliminate in this book because that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I'll walk you step by step. Got you covered. So grab a cup of coffee, get cozy. Let's dive into the world of list growing strategies together. Your list potential is waiting to be unleashed. I actually really like that. So you see how I'm going to just go in and replace something generic with something a little bit more specific. If I had like a super tip, I might put that in there too. Because remember, the other thing that happens with Pagewheel is this information from your About Me page is going to be pulled in to your sales letter as well when you go that. So making it a little bit, and like, I think everything else is good. So I am good with that. These are the brainstorming of lead magnets, how to choose a lead magnet from that brainstorm, and then like figuring out what your first lead magnet might be and what that looks like. So those are the pages, and I got that from a batch. So what I thought might be helpful is let's add a page that kind of describes the system. So I'm going to go into info and learning pages. And then I thought it might be nice to maybe, let's do this one. I want to show how like an email, like you can bring people in that have wide diverse into that like, no, trust factor system. So this is going to run the AI with my title. If I want to go, I'm going to say why growing an email list can help a business owner, no matter the size. Let's rewrite that. And then it's talking about the 3 stages of email list. And this is the other thing that happens with some of these pages is that this one says this is a 3-step page. So it's whatever I put in there, it's going to make it into a 3-step process because we have those AI prompts behind the scenes. Sometimes that works. In this case, it's going to work. I'm going to work with it. But sometimes you're like, yeah, that doesn't make sense for me. You have 2 choices. If you're like that, absolutely, I cannot make that work. You could delete the page here, or you could rewrite it not using AI at all, or you could go back and choose another page that may have some different prompts behind the scenes. I actually think this is going to work for me, so I'm just going to format it a little bit. And finally, okay. So let's go ahead and add that. I'm going to go back to grid view because I want to put that next to my About Me page. Okay. All right. So just dragging and dropping. At this point, if I had a PDF or something like that that I wanted to add, or if I didn't love any of these pages, I could just delete them or add them. But I think this works better. It makes more sense to have this page as that basically second page. So let's go in, and it's just going to override what we did yesterday with that new information. All right, so here let's flip through and see how that looks. And I am seeing that About Me page, I don't like how the formatting is on that. So let's go back and switch that real quick. It seems like I'm too close to the bottom. So I'm just going to delete. Oops, got someone put in. All right, let's see if that looks better when we go. All right, that looks better. So now we have them all looking a little bit more formatted. All right, let's approve it. And again, that approval is like, hey, let's just go to the next step. There's no scariness. As you saw, I made this yesterday and we came back and edited it and it'll be fine. So let's go on to the website. If you've already created the website, it's just going to take you there. And then this is what I have created here. Let's go ahead and change the formatting here. I like this one the best. And then let's go down here and see. I want to make sure. This is where another place that you might want to add some authority language. Does that make sense? This is your sales page. And some of the people that are going to, or opt-in page, some of the people that they don't know you, that's kind of the point of the opt-in. So this is where we might want to get a little bit more specific. It's easier to think. This is where you might want to tell a little bit of a personal story that your AI could never make up. So I might want to say, I used to be scared of emailing my people. I know that might sound crazy, or it might sound familiar. It is more common than you might think. It will be okay. And then I say, with 20 years of emailing experience, I have gotten over my fear. And if I can, you can too. Anyway, you might want to just put something personal. You want to put something that shows that you know what you're talking about and you're not some random spammer on the internet. And that's the one thing is AI does a really good job, but it also can sound like some random spammer on the internet sometimes because it's really general. So get in there and just change a sentence or two to make it sound like you, to give yourself some authority, but you're not staring at a blank page is just what I love about this. So I'm great with this. So we're just, and by the way, it's, if I wanted to make this a paid product, I could add a price right now if I want to, but this is an opt-in, so we're going to keep it free. So let's go to the next thing. All right. This is the thank you page. I like how this works. This is how my people are going to be able to download that immediately. But I thought since I'm talking about email and that it's almost like a little workbook that's a little bit out of context, I think it'd be a good idea to add a video here. And I'm going to shoot that video a little bit later this morning where I'm just going to talk about the basic getting started with growing your list. And then kind of the early stages of what to do with that list. So you don't like bring all these people in and then you never talk to them because you're scared. So I'm thinking that I'm going to shoot maybe a 7-minute video that I'm going to put on this page. So let's go ahead and pre-populate that with that thing. So I'm going to click on where I want the section, anywhere on the section. It's not going to insert it right in between, like it's not going to insert it between, the G and the N, by the way. It's going to insert it in this block. It's a little bit more global. So I'm going to go over here. You push the little plus button, and then I want this right here.
Holly, this is Cynthia. I have a question.
Yes.
So in this section where you put in videos, which I thank you so much. I use these all the time. But you see the wording above where the videos are in? Is there any way we can make that text bigger? I deal with people my age and older, and we have trouble seeing very small print.
Are you talking about the Just Imagine or the step one?
I can't even see it because I'm on my phone because I've been traveling. So right there where your cursor was, Just Imagine, and even underneath where it says step one, analyze current audience demographics and blah blah, I can see that. But then underneath that, the descriptive, I can't see that.
This right here that I'm highlighting.
That size of font is too small. I don't know what you got, but I know I've always used especially on a mobile, which I'm on right now, you have no idea what it says.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give that feedback immediately.
Thank you.
And by the way, always please give us your input. Like those of you who've been like a founding member of what used to be Busy to Pagewheel, you know that we have made literally, probably if we counted them, about 1 million changes that you guys suggested. So you'll never offend us by saying, hey, can you do this? Because I feel like that's why we have a usable product, is because we steal your ideas and put them in our software and don't even give you credit for it. But so now I have this video in here, and this, so when I'm ready, you know, obviously I'm pre-populating with this placeholder. But what you're just going to do is go grab the YouTube video link, and it can be an unlisted or a listed video on YouTube, a public or an unlisted, that allows you to just pop that link in, and then it will populate on that page. And obviously, we haven't figured out a way for the AI to write this yet. It's something that we're working on. So you're going to have to write that little bit above the video to describe it. It kind of makes sense because our AI is set up right now to do the whole page. So if it knew about it, it would end up changing the whole page's dynamic. So anyway, just a little tip on that. You'll want to go in and change this. And so let's go ahead and do that just so it's ready for me to say, why should I grow my email list? Oh, and now what? And so anyway, that's what the video kind of is going to be when I get it in. And by the way, when I'm going to go ahead and keep going here, but when I'm ready to insert that video link in the when I have the video shot and it's all uploaded to YouTube, I'm going to come back in through the website. I'm going to hit that little website link on that front page we were at and come straight into here. So I don't have to go through all the steps of the digital product. All right. Let's say that's good next. And then I like what I did on this page and the next page. So I'm not going to make any changes. I'm just going to say looks good next. Looks good next. And then it will be the same URL that you had before. The only difference would be is if you change the URL within on that page we just visited. I would just not do that. I think you can change pretty much everything. I would just keep the URL the same, because other than that, you're going to be changing where you're sending people, and that can get really, really confusing. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you. And then let's go back to the dashboard. And by the way, it is auto saving along the way. If you and anytime you hit that looks good next button, it pushes another save. So like, let's say you got caught up and you're like, oh crap, I got to go to the grocery store really quickly. And you know you're going to step away from it a while. You go ahead and hit that, like basically push it to save for that next step before you step away from the computer, just to make sure it has that hard save right there. All right. So if I wanted to go back and make any changes within the email growth list, I would hit that like we did. But if I wanted to go, let's say, pretend like I had the YouTube link. So I hit the website link, and I'm just going to go straight into where that YouTube video is on the thank you page. Okay. And I would just make the changes. And then once I insert that, I could wait long enough for it to auto save, or what I could do is just hit the looks good next. It's going to push the save, and that will happen. And then this is the one box that once you've set it up the first time, I would pretty much keep it, knowing that if you do change it down the way, that you're going to need to change your links.
Holly, right here, the picture behind, does that change, or can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, so you can see we have some that it rotates through. So you have more choices. When we first rolled this out, Kathy, we only gave you like 1 or 2 choices. Right. We're adding to that over time. And in fact, I'm seeing some I haven't even seen before, because we realized that what you're creating is very diverse. So we're trying to catch up with giving you the ability to use this. Down the road, we're hoping to give you the ability to upload your own photo here. We just haven't gotten there yet.
I like that you've gotten a lot more added to it. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I really like that one that was called this one. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. That's perfect for me. In fact, most of my stuff will go on that.
So does that happen automatically? Does it just scroll, or how do we change those pictures? Because I've not seen that.
So right here to the right, the upper right corner of that picture, I know it's small, is a little arrows that are circle. So you just hit that circle arrow and you can scroll through your options. It's kind of like when you do earlier when you choose a cover.
It's so simple, and you can just right click and save them.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I'm going from my mobile to my desktop, so I'll be on in a second.
We're recording, so you're good. And you're recording, so you're good. So, but yeah, so this gives you a little bit more flexibility. And I love the idea of April saying to go ahead and save it and use it. Because you don't have to just use it for this process. And that's the other thing is, like, if you want to like put something out on social media, what I would do is I screenshot these. Like I could make a nice square image just like that. I would take it over to Canva or PicMonkey. Maybe I want to add something. Maybe I just post it that way with some language around it. So don't be afraid to use the assets that Pagewheel is creating for you along the way. And that's one of the geniuses of this, is that this would have taken me about 10 minutes to make that in PicMonkey. And I'm a PicMonkey expert. I don't mean to brag. And you're like, is that a thing?
Totally is a thing.
It's a thing.
Holly, I don't know if you want to put this on the recording or not, but I had a side note over there in the chat. Okay, we'll grab that. Yeah, and this is a really good point. Anytime you find something that isn't working or doesn't seem to be working, and the thing is, it could be me or us, it could be you. So just use, and let's look at that. See this chat button right here? This is how you send us a message. And in fact, you can see the recent message that I sent myself, because I'm often on the other side of that. But what we do basically it's triaged, if I can use a medical term, on the other side. And so what we do often is we will go in and see if we can recreate what you're saying. If we can, then we send it straight to the team to fix. And if we can't, we usually come back to you and ask for more information. And so it's a really simple process. And even if you want to just give us some suggestions, go ahead and use that button. Yeah, it's super simple, y'all. And many, many, many times it's easier for the team if you just create a quick loom and show them exactly what's happening.
Yeah, or a screenshot. Sometimes it's really interesting because sometimes we just describe things really differently. So a lot of times I like read it several times, and then somebody else will read it and they'll be like, Holly, you totally missed like the first sentence. You know what I mean? I thought the important stuff was down in the paragraph lower, and it's like, oh yeah, now I get it. So a screenshot, a little Loom video or something, because our true intention is to fix it or help you. So so we want to make sure we get that done. All right. Any questions or chatter or anything you want to talk about?
What would be a good way? Is it, I don't know if you want to stop the recording or not, but to help us find a workaround for copying our links right now, because I literally can't copy a link right now.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll take some questions after this. So thank you all for joining on Feature Friday. Those of you who want to stick around, stay around, and I am going to, because we will jump into some more personal stuff. Bye.
Bye.